to day one. So, I'm on YouTube. I don't know whether YouTube's jibbed me off now. I was on YouTube. My membership's working. Facebook is working. It just took me 7 minutes to start this live. Which, it's all fun and games with technology, isn't it? So, funny story actually to tell you before we start. I'll just give it a few minutes for other people to join actually. So, I went out before and I got absolutely soaked in the rain, and then I obviously knew I was doing this live, so I've been out today and like had makeup and stuff on, and I got in and I was like, I can't be bothered doing my hair, fixing my makeup, finding an outfit, no. And I was like, do you know what? I'm not doing any of it. So you can't even see it, can you? Well, you can a little bit. I've got my pyjama shorts on. I've got my comfy hoodie on. The hair got scraped up. The makeup got washed off. And this is how I'm doing tonight's live. And this is the beauty and just like showing up how the fuck you want and not needing it to be perfect. And I just wanted to give that little message because I know I have a lot of perfectionist queens in here, especially in my membership. So that's the message. Right, let's get started for tonight's live. So this is session 1. This is session 1 of 3. And each day I'm going to take you to a new level. I'm going to unlock new ways of thinking, new ways of feeling, different things for you that you're going to be able to dive into. I've also got some homework for you because I am so big. Like, it's all well and good doing these sessions and stuff, but I'm so big on the integration and using the time after the session to sit with what's came up for you. So if you've not got a journal and a pen, go and grab one now. If you're watching the recording, pause me and come back and do your thing. One sec, let me just check the membership. Your sound is quiet. Does anyone else think it sounds quiet? Oh no. Right. Anybody still on here? Ash, I can see your name. Is the volume? It's fine when the music is off. Yeah, I thought it was going to be that because I had the YouTube music on. So that's what it was. Because it's never normally. Yeah, so that's fine now. Because I want to, inside of my membership, I've made all of you the PowerPoint so that you can be writing notes, writing things down, doing your thing, which I'm going to share my screen and do for you all now. So, PowerPoint, one sec girlies, share screen. Where the fuck is it? I wonder if the YouTube is still Meg, I'm here. Right, Meg, come back into the membership. It's working now. It's because I had the YouTube playing music and that fucks with my membership. I learned that lesson a while ago, so I don't know why I made that mistake again. But do both if you want. Have me on Facebook, have me on here, but the PowerPoint will be in the membership. So, let me get the membership. Let me get this up for the girlies. Right, so there you are, we're good to go. Right. That's sharing now, isn't it? Why is technology so complicated? Like, I can't wait until I'm on the timeline where I have a team and they just do everything. They're just like, yeah, Catherine, good to go. I've checked the signal, I've checked the sound, I've checked the music. Everyone's on the Facebook, the YouTube streaming, the Instagram, this, net. And I'm just like, here I am without having to do all this side of things. I'm calling that in. Where's my team at? Right, so I've titled this session. This is something that I was writing out before, after I came out of meditation. Lead with spirit, thrive in business. And then I've written underneath, those who believe in miracles experience them. So I want you to have a journal for the next 3 days as we go on this journey together. So this is going to be your first title. So date it. I've took my watch off. Whatever the date is today, is it the 16th? And that's going to be your title. Lead with Spirit, Thrive in Business. And then I've written something out before that you can take notes on. Right, I'm going to be a little bit rude. I'm not going to pay attention to the comments, and I'll check everything like when I get a little gap, because otherwise I tend to be a little bit scatty. I can be over here, but then I'm over there with you, and then I'm looking at what she's writing and then what she's saying and what's YouTube doing, and it just gets a bit bleh. So I'm just going to stay with the PowerPoint. So I've written something out today. So I've written, someone asked me, how will I know when the creator is being revealed to me? So when I say creator, that's whatever you want to call it. So whether it's God, whether it's source, like call it whatever feels comfortable to you. So I answered, when everything falls apart and it stops going your way. The moment that you feel completely lost, like you've completely lost control and you've entered the unknown where you haven't got a clue what's happening or why it's happening, you feel like you've got no answers, you don't know what you're doing, know that that is the exact moment that your destiny of miracles is being created for you. We cannot create if we're not in the unknown. So what's happening is the old vessel must be broken for the new expanded one to be built. Much like when you try to achieve in a good workout. So when you go to the gym and you absolutely smash it and you're exhausted and you push those last reps in. I've just started a new plan that my son done for me, and you go to failure on it. And I've never trained like that before. I've never trained to failure. I do my set and then I move on. And now I'm going for the extra reps. Well, it's just the same. So to break the muscle, knowing that it will grow back stronger and be exactly what you want it to be. Like, that's your goal. It's going after the goal. So it's never easy to remember this when you're going through it. So when you're in it, you don't acknowledge it. So my hope is that this reaches you at a time that allows your soul to remember how powerful you are. And that's why you're here. Whether you're watching the recording or you're watching this 6 months down the line, like, you're here because you've called it in. This is about reminding you how protected you are and how soon your process of the unknown will definitely come to an end. Anything false must fall away. Any illusions must die. Anything that feels out of alignment, it must be let go of. All false foundations will be revealed to you when you're building the new life. So it's a feeling of the old has got to go for the new to come in. And that's scary as fuck. So I've written down this mantra. I have complete certainty in the light of the Creator. I love this day that has been created, as it has been given to me by Him. I accept my life, and even more so, I love my life. And I know that I deserve to receive endlessly more. And that's a mantra to just feel into when you're in that stage of your life, which I believe every one of us has to go through when we're building a new foundation. Now, where we go wrong with that is we grip hold of the old foundation, and that's what we're going to be going into throughout today's session. It's having the trust and the faith in, I'm just going to leave that up for my membership girls to write it out. Having the trust and the faith in shit that you can't see. And things that just don't make sense yet. And you question. And you want all of the answers. And you want to know the why. You want to know the how. You want to know the what's next. And the reason why you're doing this masterclass and you've called this level of work in is because you're being asked to surrender to it. You're being asked to not know. And that's my intention of doing this session with you all, to give you that feeling inside of your own body to be able to regulate your own nervous system in the feeling of that this is where you're supposed to be and you can give it to God. So I'm going to go into where I've been and how I've got to this space in my life, on my journey. And I'm just going to go deeper into how I've got here. I forgot to press record in the membership. I've done it now. You haven't missed much, but I'll put them slides in the membership for those that aren't on the live. So, if you were, this is the thing about money, it's all about conditioning. Like, your wealth consciousness is about how you've been consciously wired growing up, but then all of your life you don't know any different unless you grew up in money, and then things are different in terms of your mindset. So if you were conditioned into lack, limitation, and being told to be realistic, then your nervous system will recreate that no matter how big your goals are, no matter how much you want it, no matter what your drive is, what your ambition is, what you want to go after in life. Your nervous system won't be able to hold it. And this is why I say to you all the time inside of my membership, you are your biggest block. You literally are the one to stand in your own way, which is why we have to do the inner work. It's not the outer work. You can't outwork yourself. You can't outwork your stories and your belief systems. It's impossible. You've got to go back into the program. So wealth consciousness, and what I'll be teaching over these next 3 days, is about consciously rewiring where you've been living from, like your stories that you're stuck in. So it's rewriting the story, but this is about consciously doing it every single day. It's not just coming to a 3-day workshop and then your whole life has changed and like now I'm rewired and now I can do all of the things and I can regulate my own nervous system and wealth is coming to me and now I can receive and be in my family. It's not that. It's every day. This work takes work every single day of not living your life on autopilot and going with the flow and doing things that you've always done and catching yourself in it. That's conscious living. So, my story of chasing to receiving, from the masculine to the feminine, from controlling to surrendering, and my journey with faith is what I'm going to be going into in session 1. So, the question, how did I manifest wealth from alignment, not pressure or performance? So, when I first came into money, I was teaching a very different money story. And it's quite interesting for me because I have girls, and there might be girls on here now, who worked with me years ago. And I know, and I get told it as well when I speak to you, it's like how different I am. But I can also sound a little bit contradicting because this isn't what I used to teach. I didn't used to teach have a day off. I didn't used to teach about the feminine. I used to teach you want to make money, you work your ass off. And you go out there and you get after it. And let me tell you something to be true about that. It works. What I was teaching years ago when I was in aesthetics and I used to do business coaching, you better believe that it worked for every single one of those women. They went after it, they worked hard, they was in the hustle, they showed up, they performed and they put the pressure on. And every time the pressure turned down, I would make them turn it up. How much do you want it? Are you willing to do what it takes? Get after it. And I had the belief system when I first started out in money that money had to be worked hard for, money had to be earned. You have to chase it, you have to go after it. Now, it's you know, I talk about it very openly, but for those who are new here, hello, I talk very openly about that business, how I built that business, who I was in that business, and how out of alignment I was in that business, living that life. Feels like a different life to me, in fact it was. And I built that from the mind, from the masculine, from the performance, from the ego. And that's where I taught this from as well. And then it was only coming to do the inner work, the real work, what I call the real work, that I realised how wrong I had it. And that actually isn't life. You don't have to live like that. And I don't want to teach that, especially to women. So now I feel with the work that I do, I put a very different frequency out there of going inwards and doing the inner work and being a magnet to it all, attracting it, not the hustle, not the burnout, not the working 7 days a week, not the going after it, not the showing up and being this and being that, but just being you from a place of trust, from a place of truth. And I believe that I had to go through that journey to save you going through it. That is the truth, because there's only one place that journey will end for you, which is disconnection. You not knowing you not being a present mum, you not being a present partner, you not being there with your family and really living your life. And you'll create a life where money controls you, and you will live a life in a fear-based frequency, in the feeling of, if I stop, if I take a day off, if I was to even think about surrendering, if I just wanted to slow it down and just be in my heart and be in my feminine and just be with myself and feel and just allow, then I'll lose everything. I can't do that. Whoa. Like, even now, I know there will be women watching this that will feel that in your tummy of like, I can't do that. I can't surrender. I've got bills to pay. I've got a mortgage to pay for. I've got a kid to bring up. I'm not taking days off. I'm not even earning the money that I want now. So you're telling me to take a day off and I'm going to earn more. Like, fuck that. And I get it, because that was me. There was no way I was taking a day off at anyone or anything until I started doing this inner work. So next. So the 3 fundamentals that I've sat with today in meditation, I was like, right, what do I want to teach in this first session? So the 3 fundamentals for me on my personal journey that I believe will change everything in your life, not just your business, not just your bank account, but how you parent, how you show up, who you attract into your life, who you are in this world, what impact you're having on other people, which is what we're here for. We're here to be in service to others. So anchor into your I am. I hope everybody's making notes here. Like, you better be writing this shit down, because it's going to go out your head. Anchor into your I am and become the version of you who already has it. That's a big one. So this is a non-negotiable, unfuckwithable energy, and it can't be affected by the external or result or what this 3D world is telling you. That's why I say knowing who you are is non-negotiable. I don't negotiate that with anyone. I know who I am. And sometimes I'll be tested, I'll be challenged, things will come up on my journey that want to question me, and I just believe it's God saying, do you really know who you are? Well, I'm going to test you on that, and we'll see if you stay true to yourself. We'll see how you can stand by yourself. Or do you lose yourself in others? The next thing, lead yourself with clarity. You've got to have standards, and you've got to have an unshakable level of self-trust. This is about your connection to your intuition and trusting that inner voice within. That's the voice. That's the voice that will lead you to exactly where you're supposed to be, and just everything. I don't believe it can lead you anywhere else. And then I've written here, you've got to boundary the fuck up. Like you have. Something I teach in my membership and like I hold so strongly with the girls is the boundaries. Like, you've got to have boundaries. You have to. It's massive. It's massive for the life that you want to live. You've got to boundary the fuck up. And that comes with a level of self-respect, self-worth, self-discipline, the knowing. Again, it's always coming back to the knowing who I am. Like, I'm safe to have that boundary because I'm standing by me. I'm not losing me in you. And then the last thing, number 3, live your spirituality as a way of being, not something that you try to do. And I've written that because I've had a lot of conversations recently where they're in all of the practices, all of the rituals, all of the doing, and nothing's changing in their life because they're not embodying it. I'm not into the titles. I don't title myself. I don't like to be titled. I don't like to be told I'm this or I'm that. So like with spirituality, I do think the way it is now, it is very like you're in a box. Like, oh, you pray for people. Yeah, you're spiritual. She must be spiritual. She prays for people. Oh, you meditate. Oh, she must be spiritual. Oh, she's just given money to that homeless man, or she's just sat on the bench talking to that man over there. Oh, it's because she's spiritual. Like, no, it's just who I am. It's not because I'm spiritual and I have to be this and I have to be that. Like, that's who I am. It's about me morals, me values, me truth. So that's a big block that I see for a lot of women who are on this journey. You don't need to put yourself in that box. You get to just be you. You get to just be you. How does that land for so many of you is running a business and showing up and being visible and being seen? How does that feel in your body if you was in your truth with it? And this is something that I want to be planting these seeds for you to then integrate and sit with whilst you're on your own in your own energy. Because I remember feeling into that. Like, what do you mean you just get to be you? You obviously don't, because you're running a business. So then you have to play a role, you have to be a character. You have to be. Like, that's what running a business is, that's what being an entrepreneur is, that's what being successful is. It's all about the characters and the roles and being able to mould into this, but then move into that. And I couldn't see how that wasn't truth. And maybe that's why I started this live, actually. Yeah, it actually is. That makes sense to me. That when I came in, I didn't like today. I had my hair down and I had makeup on and I had a nice outfit on because I took myself out for a little coffee. And when I fell into doing this live, I was like, do you know what? I just want like my little £6 hoodie on and I've got my pyjama shorts on and I took my makeup off and my hair's shoved up. So I'm living by what I actually preach, which is I get to just do me. I get to be me. I don't have to be what you want me to be. I don't have to be this professional character who's trying to say all of the right things. And what I've written there about this is a non-negotiable, unfuckwithable energy. That's what's being asked of you. You need to be able to hold your energy and not keep losing yourself and collapsing in others. So like, think of like when a client complains to you and they tell you that your service isn't good. I don't like the way that you've done my nails. I don't like the way that you've done my lips. I don't like the way that you've done my eyebrows. Your service is shit. Just really try and tap into that version of you. Just try and tap into her now. How does that make you feel? Do you question? Do you spiral? Does that affect your whole vibration? Because that's actually the real you. That's where the performance energy comes in, the character comes in. Whereas when you show up in your business and you stay true to your heart and you know who you are, you know the service that you provide, you know the value that you bring, then I respectfully don't care if you think I'm shit at what I do. I know that I'm not. I know my message. I know what I'm here to do to you. Can you own that energy? Just feel into it right now. Where do you negotiate your self-worth? Where do you outsource validation? Where do you need people outside of yourself to tell you that what you're doing, the service that you're providing, your business is good enough? Because this is what's being asked of you. This is the inner work. So you think that you can just call in the abundance and call in the money and have it all. But you don't even know who you are. You don't even stay true to you. You lose yourself in everybody else. You're not owning who you are and how you show up in this life. And that's a big one. That's a big block. That was my biggest block. That was my biggest block. So then what was happening was I was then losing myself in everybody else because I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. I wasn't confident in the service that I was providing. So I would easily fall apart in my clients. And then what happened was I would overextend my energy. Oh, I'm not bringing enough. I'm not doing enough. I need to be more. Don't need to do more. You need to be you more. And that's the authenticity piece. Where can you show up more you? Because that's how you're going to align with your people and what's meant for you in your business. Is this landing for people? I'm just going to check the comments. Let me get my membership up a sec. Where are they? Hope, I love you. I've seen your message before on WhatsApp. I'm actually gonna voice note the group because that's gonna help everybody. And thank you for your vulnerability in that. I've seen it just before I came on the live, so I'll go into it. Ash, I seek outside for validation for everything now. I don't know when this happened, but I'm working on it big time, yeah. I was the queen of that. And that's why I found myself in that life that didn't feel like my life. Because I was trying to be what everybody else wanted me to be. A big one for me, like without like going too deep yet, like turn it down a bit. I wanted to prove myself to my mum. That was a massive one for me. And I still find myself trying to do that now. I still try to find myself trying to be what my mum wants me to be in order to receive love from her. And this is just the work. This is the journey. This is what my soul chose. And with aesthetics, I wanted that business, that whole business, the salon, the training academy, everything. And I just want you to feel into. I need to turn this down because I can't be bothered getting upset. But I am going through it at the minute with my mum, so it's quite interesting that example has just come up. Oh, God. But when I had that business, right, and I had that life, so I built up this like my last year in that business, and it was only a 3.5 year business. Like, it wasn't like I was doing it for 10 years. It was just over 3 years old. And the last year of business was my first multi-6-figure year. And I didn't have any staff. I didn't have anyone working for me. I didn't have anybody running the training academy. I didn't have anyone on the salon floor. I didn't have anybody renting space. I didn't have anyone doing me emails. I didn't have anyone checking in with all of my students. And there was so many of them. I didn't have anyone doing anything because I was this control freak and I couldn't let go. And I believed deep within my heart space, because of where I was on my journey, that I had to do all of that by myself. I had to. Nobody else was going to do it for me. I didn't trust anyone. I didn't trust anyone And I didn't trust Creator, Source, God. So I done it all by myself. And the underlying energy behind that was wanting to be good enough. Wanting to be seen as this version of me that would then be good enough to receive love, to receive acceptance, to be seen. Like that was the wound, to be honest. It was like, I don't want to feel invisible anymore. I don't want to be seen, so I'll do whatever I have to do in order to receive that love. And I just want you to really feel into when you feel into your business and your blocks and whatever's just come up on you for you so far, like what Ash just said then about she seeks validation outside of herself, and then she just said she feels the same about her mum. So whatever comes up for you in terms of like why you are doing what you're doing, really be open to accessing the root. Because you think it's just to drive the nice car. You think it's just to have the nice house and be able to be like, I'm a multi-six-figure business owner. But when you really sit with yourself and you dive deeper into yourself, not out there, back in, get back over here, you really feel into the root of it and be like, okay, what am I trying to prove? And to who? Where do I seek outside of myself for love, for validation, for attention, for acceptance? And when I don't receive that, or I'm not met with that, what feeling does that give me? So that's something as part of your integration for tonight's session, to just ask those deeper questions, because you're not just the way that you are because this is the way that I am. Like, don't ever accept that story and never say the words, I don't know. As soon as you say, I don't know, you're shutting yourself off to knowing. So it's like, why do you try and earn love? I don't know. Then you've just shut every single opportunity to get to the root down. You're not open to knowing. So just leave it out there, plant the seed, be like, okay, I'm open to receiving the answer. Have I started this business, and do I show up the way that I show up in this business in order to receive from outside of myself? And then what people come through for you. So it was me mum in terms of love and like this energy of wanting to prove myself. And then it was also my ex who I went through a terrible time with, and then I was like, right, I want him to be able to sit back and watch me rebuild my life. And that was where the ego came in. So it was like I was in pain. I was operating from this pain and this trauma from my mum, of like the yearning of the love, and then I was operating from this egoic energy of like, I'll fucking show you. So the two energies were just, and then where did that lead me? Well, it led me into a life of fear, because nothing was ever mine. I was constantly worrying about it being taken away from me, about somebody, like I say, having a day off and then losing everything. What if the clients just stopped coming? What if the students just stopped booking in? What if people no longer liked the way that I injected lips and I lost my reputation? Then I'd lose everything. Well, that's not a way to live your life. Because now, where I live in alignment and in my heart, and where I trust myself and I know myself and I only listen to myself. And that's not like in an egoic way. I'm up for like listening to your point of view, but I'm so discerning who I take advice from. And if your advice doesn't actually meet my beliefs and what I feel, and it doesn't land in my body, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to take that. Because I really trust myself now. I really trust what my body tells me. I was having a conversation. She might be on here, actually. Let me just see if she is. Jenna. No. I think she's doing the recording. I had a one-to-one call this morning with my client. And I actually went through that with her about, like, when your partners, and I've not got a partner, but this was what the call was for her. Words aren't enough. You can't speak your way into safety. You can't just tell me that I'm safe with you. You can't just speak it. I need to feel it. And she was like, but I don't understand how you do that. Like, how can you just feel it without them saying it? Because he's saying all the right things. And it's a little bit of the people pleaser energy and the yes sir, no sir. So that's landing where it's like, well, it's the perfect situation because he's agreeing and he wants the same things as me and he's saying all the right things, but you can't trust that. Words aren't enough. And what she was asking me was, well, how do you feel it? Well, you've got to get to know yourself. You've got to go inwards. You've got to deepen your connection to you. You've got to spend the time with you. Like, how much time do you spend with yourself? But really spend with yourself. No Instagram, no TikTok, no scrolling. Like, how intentional are you with getting to know you? That's what your business is asking of you. If you're asking to live a life of alignment where you're not in fear, where you don't worry, and you're in the fear of this is going to be taken away from me, then you better get to fucking know who you are. You better get used to meeting yourself, to holding the space for you, for your inner child. You've got to get into the frequency, the state of being every single day of not needing anything outside of yourself. I don't need my clients, and I've got them all on here. I've got a few one-to-ones on the live now. I've got yous in this group. I don't need you to tell me that what I'm doing is this, or this. I don't ever worry about what if nobody books on, what if I lose everything? What if people just stopped signing up to my membership? What if people just stopped coming to me live events? What if nobody resonates with my message anymore? I am so grounded and rooted in who I am, not what I do, but who I am, that I know what I offer and what I bring and the impact that I'm here to have. There's no fear, there's no frequency of fear, it's just all alignment. And all that took was me getting to know me and going all in on my connection to me. And then I allowed, I'm just going to check these comments, I allowed my I'll read that now, Charlotte, one sec. I allowed my audience in on that. I'm like, okay, this is me, this is the real me. And now I'm if you want to work with me, here I am, and if you don't, then amazing, I hope you find the person for you. But can you feel how I'm not attached? I'm not in the fear. In my business, as a businesswoman who's got a 6-figure business, there's no frequency of fear. Where in my old business it was all fear. I needed you to tell me that I was good at what I did. I needed to perform for this Instagram platform. I needed to play these characters and these roles to feel good enough. I needed that. I didn't know who I was without that. And all it done was disconnect me from my truth, from my heart. and that's never it. And I believe that God will never let you stay there. It'll be very short-lived. And then you'll hit that brick wall where you're like, fuck, I'm so unhappy. Like, think of wealthy people right now. Robin Williams, he had everything. Look how rich and famous he was. And he still didn't want to be here. Because it's the disconnection of needing the outside and never returning. And I think that that's the most saddest thing ever. And I think what's even more sad and concerns me even more and gives me more drive to do this work and deliver this work is that we bring our children up like that, and they then live that life of disconnection, of the searching and the seeking outside of them and never knowing that it's all within. They hold it all, but they just need to take the time to get to know themselves. I'm just going to read this question. Any of my membership girls got any questions? I hold so much to my mum. She has money and I don't. What I want. She hustles, masculine, and so do I. And I resent something as I still ain't got out that story and stepped into my building in my life what I want. Right, let me read it and then I'm going to make sense of all these spelling mistakes. I think that's why I'm stuck, as if I build now, it will be masculine ego, so I stay stuck. Yeah. I get you. So your mum has shown you how to, so is your mum successful, you're saying, and she's shown you how to lead from the masculine in the hustle. Yeah, I get you. My mum is my biggest block. This is why the embodiment is a must to be that connected. Yeah, well, this is why it's the inner work. Like the life that you want, whoever you are watching this, the life that you want, that you desire, that you feel in your heart space, everything. And I'm not just talking the money. I'm talking that family. You want to have another baby. You want to get married. You want the life. You want to live on a farm. You want to drive that dream car. You want to have the freedom to go where you want and do what you want, and nobody's telling you. There's no asking for permission to be anything or go anywhere or do anything. There's no one telling you, like, you're going to have to book that off. There's no one telling you what to do. You get to just do what you want. Like, that life that's in your heart space is available to you. But you've got to be in alignment with it. And you can't hustle your way into that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I know, like, it's hard for a lot of people to come across somebody like me when you can go on Instagram right now and you will have coaches on there teaching you can make 6 figures in the next 3 months, and you can do this and do this and do this, and all of the hustle and all of the drive. But it all comes down to, what life do you want? Are you building a life that's external with the frequency of fear that you can just lose it because it's not real? None of it's real. Or are you wanting a life that's in alignment with who you are, the true you though, like the real you? Like, this is my joy, this is my happiness, this feels so free, I feel so content, I feel at peace. I don't constantly feel like I'm going to lose it, or I need to be that, or I need to overextend my energy, or I need to be constantly doing and thinking of new things to get people in. But you just get to create from a place of joy. And that's the beauty of getting to know yourself and doing the inner work, because you find out, like, what does light you up, what does bring you joy. I read this quote, and I don't know where it's from, and it might be like someone a little bit cringe, like Jay Shetty. Not that he's, well, he is a little bit cringe. Some things he says, I'm like, ugh, gives me the ick a little bit. But he said something like, if you don't know what to pursue yourself. And that is my answer to anyone who tells me, like, I'm lost, I don't know who I am, I'm going through it, I'm so unhappy, like, whatever. Stop seeking out there and go within. Get to know yourself. And whatever that little, and right now it might be a little light, I'm talking to somebody specific here. Might be a really little light. Oh wow, I've just gone back to me before I started any of this. And the light is so little that you question if it's even a light, because you just feel like you're in the dark and you don't actually see a way out. You're not someone who's driven. You're not someone who's ambitious. You're not somebody who's got hopes and dreams. And above anything, you're not somebody who's got role models. That's where it's at. Who's your role models? A lot of us haven't got them and we haven't grown up with them. Like, do you have somebody that really inspires you and you're like I want to be like them. I want to follow that path. Like, they're really showing me who I want to be. And if you are, I think you're probably like one of the luckiest people in the world, because I don't actually think I've met anybody the type of women that I meet and I work with, and I'm definitely not someone who's got one. And I've never had one. I've never been shown the way. So think about your whole bloodline, who you know exists. Think about your aunties, your uncles, your cousins. Like, is there anybody who's doing what you want to do? Who's living the life that you want to live? If the answer's no, then you need to know and accept and acknowledge that, well, you're the one to go first. And that means that you're here to figure it out. There's no one to follow. You're a leader. Are you owning that about yourself? Or are you trying to be a follower? And that can feel like a disconnection, because your soul's like, why are we following? Why are we trying to be like them? And why are we doing what they're doing? And why are we copying them? And it never sits right in your body. It never sits right in the heart, because it's not your truth. It's not you. You're not here to follow. You're a leader. You're here to go first. And that can be scary, and it's easier not to accept that truth. But it'll keep you up at night. Did me. So again, it's always coming back to that piece of, what life am I here to live? And when it gets a bit much, and you lose your way, you don't know what way to go, and you don't see a way out, and it just feels a bit ugh. And there's that part of you that just wants to give up. You look for the light. Just the small light. The smallest light ever. It's barely a light. Just like a flicker of a candle. And you attach to that with the commitment that I need to get to know myself. I need to get to know who I am. I need to get to know what actually makes me happy. What lights me up inside, what meets my needs. I need to get to know my own fears and my own insecurities. I need to sit with those shadow parts of myself that do bring a lot of fear and resentment and resistance. Like, how much are you willing to sit in the discomfort with yourself? That's what it takes to live an aligned life. It's getting to know the deeper parts of you, the real you. And that can be really hard, and I feel the people that I speak to, it's like, but how the fuck do you stop performing? How do you heal that perfection wound? How do you stop with the insecurities and the fears and the visibility wound? How do you stop being scared of being seen? How do you take the mask off? How do you be authentic? And I get it. I've asked all them questions. I've lived that life. I remember when people used to say, and it's something that I never say to my one-to-one clients, when we're doing the work, and it's like that phrase that everyone says it, everyone, just be you, just love yourself. That takes a lot of work. It does. It takes a lot of inner work. You can't just wake up tomorrow morning and be like, right, I'm just gonna be me, because you'll find that that's just another performance. It's just another mask that you're about to put on. You've got 20, 30 years of conditioning before you can get to you. And it's a journey. This is what I say to my one-to-one clients. It is about being you. Of course it is. That's all that you're here to be. What God created you to be. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to fix anything. You are perfect in your creation. But that takes a lot of inner work to get there. Because right now, with all the hiding that you've done and all the performing, you don't know who you are. You don't like who you are. So when people would say to me early on in my journey, just be you, just be yourself, I used to instantly feel like I would rather be anybody on this planet but myself. And that was my work. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to be anyone but me. All the time. And it wasn't just about appearance and like my journey with surgery and constantly trying to change myself, but it was not liking who I was in here. And that is why I went on that journey of constantly trying to change out here, thinking that if I could be more like them or more like them, then I wouldn't have to be me. I was able to leave that life and heal and do what I'm doing now and live the way that I'm living now because I really committed to getting to know myself. And it wasn't about the nice parts. It wasn't about the joy and the fun and the lightness. It wasn't that. It was getting to know the deepest, darkest parts of myself, the parts that carried all of the shame, all of the fear, all of the trauma, everything that I went through as a child. And still showing up for myself in it, knee deep in it. And that is where your work is at. Let me just check that. I need to sit with myself more. That's exactly what I want more than anything. But how? Hope. I don't know when you've written that. Sorry, I've not been in the chat. What are you asking, darling? How what? Ask me a question, please, and I'll go into it. But it really is like what I was just saying then, with the getting to know yourself. I'll just wait to see what Hope says before I move on to the next part. Time's at 8 o'clock. Oh, a little bit behind, but it really is. How do you go into yourself? Like, I don't get how to do it. Yeah, I know. And this is what I was just saying. Like, it's a deep commitment, and it's every day. It's every day. So it's not abandoning yourself at the first given opportunity. It's not that getting. So what we do when we're doing the work, we can really judge ourselves and get impatient and then not want to sit with it and not want to feel it. It's about staying in it with you. And it's taking each day at a time. It's not just of a Sunday night. It's not just once a month. It's not just every now and then when I can be asked to do the work. It's not that. And I work with so many people all over the country. And when they talk to me about the work that they've done, it's always the embodiment piece and the consistency piece. They tap out. They're in and out. They're in and then they're out, and then life happens, so they're out, and then they're in, and then something else happens, and then they're out, and then they're fully in, locked in, inner child work, self-forgiveness work, I'm all in, and then the man comes along, and then they're out. And then they're like, oh, I've done it again. I ended up meeting this man, and he was the love of my life, and he was my twin flame, and he was sent by God. And then I moved him in because it was meant to be. And then before I knew it, I lost me. He fucked me over, he left, he broke my heart, and now I'm left with nothing. Well, that's because he never had you. He never fully had you. Because this work isn't about that not happening. It's not about, if you do this work and you heal, you will never have your heart broken and you'll never cry again. You'll never go through it. No. That isn't it. It's about you having you. It's about you staying loyal to you. It's about you being able to meet yourself and hold yourself in it, and you don't lose yourself. So when people come and they go, whatever the situation outside of yourself, there you are. I've still got me. That's where you want to get on your journey. That's where we all need to get, and we need to show our children the way as well. I think that's why I'm feeling like the way I am, what I messaged you, because I can't handle my inner truths. I can't comprehend things I've done. Yeah, I know. I'm going to speak to you properly, because obviously I do know about your journey. And look, that was me. I could not, there was no way, like, I was on about it at me, it just made me go dead hot, hope. I was speaking about it at my event the other week, and when I first started making money and I started putting myself out there, and it was like when my Instagram started growing, I made myself a promise that I would never, ever tell my story. Like, no one's going to know what I've been through, that I've lost my home and had a mental breakdown, and, you know, I was that mum who used to go Weatherspoons with my son, and I've been through what I went through as a child, and even down to this, right, my dad is an alcoholic, right, and he's got no teeth. He hasn't got one tooth in his head, and he can't talk properly, and he's never been able to talk properly, so he can't say the and r. So like my sister's called Rebecca, and he calls her Rebecca. And he's very known in Widnes. Like, if I tell anyone that that's my dad, they're like, oh my God, Jimmy Worsley's daughter. And my whole life, I was so ashamed. I was so embarrassed, to the point that, what was my business called? What was my aesthetics business called? What was my training academy called? What was my website called? What was everything called? Catherine Amy. I didn't want anyone to know that I was a Worsley. I was so ashamed. I was so embarrassed that that's my dad. And that he would walk through the town at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, bladdered, falling over, covered in blood at times because he fell over, snapped his glasses. This is real life. Like, I'm not trying to like paint anything. Now I shout that shit from the rooftops that is my dad, and I love him. Oh my God, the love that I have for my dad is like I can't even put it into words, and I'm so proud of him. And anybody that asks me, like, I'd done a story a few weeks ago, I went to the stadium to view the room that I'm holding the event at, and my dad was working there because he works for the council, so we had a meeting there, and I felt like a celebrity for being his daughter. Everyone was coming over to me, shaking my hand, oh, you Jimmy's daughter, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. And I was so proud, and my dad has got the biggest heart. He's a good person. So yeah, he can't talk properly. He's an alcoholic, which is an illness, and it's so sad. He looks the way that he looks, and he even dresses the way he's not like he's got a job and stuff, but you'd think that he was homeless the way that he dresses. And I just love him so much. And now, like, every email that you get, Catherine Worsley, me podcast, Catherine Worsley, me membership, Catherine me Instagram, like all of me company, I changed it from Catherine Amy to Catherine Worsley. The only reason why it's not Catherine Worsley on Facebook is because I don't know how to do it. It will not let me do it. But everything, any emails, any content, anything that you get from me, it's all Catherine Worsley, because now I own who I am. I don't run from myself anymore. I accept my story. I accept where I came from. I accept all parts of me. That shit comes with a freedom that not many people will feel. It's a little bit like, right, this is how I explain it to my one-to-one clients. It's a little bit like, you know, the scene on 8 Mile with Eminem, like the famous scene, and he just puts it all out there. He's like, yeah, me mum is this, yeah, they have done that, blah blah, and then they haven't got anything to say because he's like, well, he's owning everything about himself here, I can't come back to that. Well, that's how I feel, and I think it gives me this level of confidence with putting myself out there and showing up the way that I do, because I own everything about myself. You can't shame me, you can't judge me, you can't say anything I don't already know about myself. I don't outsource my energy. I own who I am. And it's not a feeling of like being proud of the things that I've done in terms of like, so for me, a lot of my shame was around my son. And like I was in that relationship and he met my son and played a part in my son's life. And I was that mum that would go drinking in Wetherspoons and, you know, the things that I've done that, you know, I shouldn't have done around a child. So it's not a feeling of like I'm proud of it, but I stand by myself and I give myself so much love and acceptance, and I'm like, that was you surviving and I love you for that, and that's what I'm proud of. I'm proud of that you survived that time in your life and you got through it, because look at you, you're here now, but you needed her to guide you here. It's not about judging myself and wishing things were different and like not being able to look at them parts of myself because I'm like, oh my god, it's so painful over there, I can't look over there. Oh, but I'll look over there where I've done the business and I've achieved this and I've achieved that, and now I'm this and now I'm that, but I'm not looking over that way. That's not how it works. That's not truth. You're performing, you're lying. People will feel that from you. You can't be your authentic true self. You're not owning who you are. Like with me dad, with your parents, and I get this a lot as well, and I'm going off on one here, but it's because Hope's just asked me that question, but I get it a lot with me one-to-one clients about the parents, and you know, they want to do the inner work and they want to guide women on their journey and they want to go there, but then they won't forgive the mum and dad. They won't go into that relationship. They won't go down that memory lane. It's easier to avoid that. Well, that isn't the work. You can't just skip steps. And the parts of you that you want to avoid, you will find have the biggest grip on your freedom. You'll never be your true free self because you're not allowing yourself to be you, are you? It's like me with that situation. I wasn't owning who I was. I wasn't owning where I came from. That's my story. And now look at me. Would you be here if that wasn't my story? Would the thousands of people that I've helped from all over the country, from other countries, all of the live events I've done, all of the stages I've stood on, everything that I've done, all of the people that have bought me book, everything, would you have bought into me? Would any of those people, those women, bought into me or even acknowledge me if it wasn't for my story? The answer is no, and you know it. Your story is who you are, and it was all for a purpose. But before you can go into that and go on that journey, you've got to get to know what your story is. You've got to get to know who you are. That's the work. And everything from there just leads you to the life that you're destined to live. It really, really does. Right, let me get on to your homework now because it's 8:10. Wow, I'm so proud of you, and that's so true because you're relatable. Ah, thank you, my darling. Right, so, homework. write this down, please, my darlings. So, homework for day 1. And then I've just written in, like, what are they called? Speech marks. I had to shift from control to co-creation. That was the success of this business that I have today. So the old business was being in control. The new business is co-creation. So write down this mantra and every single day repeat it. So this is 7 days homework, right? So my job is the action. God's job is the outcome. What I'm going to do, girls, actually, for the ones in my Facebook group, I will put this slide in there for you. So you've got the homework. That's a good idea, isn't it? So you don't have to write all this down. Yeah, I'll put the slide in the chat for you. If you're watching it on YouTube, get your pen out, honey, and write down. So the mantra is, my job is the action, God's job is the outcome. So if you're not into God, if you don't like the language, firstly, stay in my world long enough and I will change your mind. But write creator, write source, whatever you call it, just write that. So my job is the action, creator's job is the outcome. If you live your life in that frequency, if you run your business from that place, I promise you, you will never ever be the same again. I made the decision when I started this business, I'm not doing it on my own. I've done the whole building a business up on my own, and I'll never do it again. So this time I do it with God. This time I do it with my ancestors. This time I do it with my spirit team. I don't do anything by myself. And it's life-changing. So, again, for the next 7 days, write down 3 actions that you can take today for your business. So tomorrow morning, starting day 1, write down 3 actions that you can take in your business. What the fuck was that? That you can take in your business starting tomorrow, starting that day. So as your morning practice, write it down. What are the 3 actions? Then do them fully. No holding back, no half-assing it, no saying I'm going to do this and then I'm not going to do that. No. Get out of that story. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Be a woman of your word and watch how different your life is when you have that mindset. This is where your masculine comes in with the discipline. So do them fully, no holding back. This is the action piece. And then consciously release the result. This is about the law of detachment now. So you've done the action. Remember the mantra. Your job's the action. God's job is the outcome. So you've done the action. You've done the 3 things. You've got your 3 actions. You've done them fully. You haven't half-assed it. You've shown up. You haven't held back. And then you consciously release the result, knowing that shit's on God. He'll make that happen. Whatever's meant to come from that will come, as long as you've stuck to your part. That is what it means to be living in co-creation. None of this, I'm so spiritual and I meditate and I just sit here and I trust in the universe and everything comes to me and I don't have to do anything and I've just started a business and I just trust that my people will find me and I don't need to show up. I don't need to put myself out there. I'll just sit here. And that's why you're broke as fuck. Because there's no balance. You're out of balance. You need the action. We need the feminine. That's the feminine. Beautiful. Love that for you. Okay, show me your masculine. Show me how you are showing up. So when God says to you, I've got this for you, come and meet me halfway. Talk to me about your halfway. What are you doing? That's what I want to know. When you sign up to work with me, I want to know where your halfway is. And then it's about allowing, and we're going to go into this tomorrow, by the way, with the feminine and the masculine. It's about allowing the feminine to do her thing, but you need the masculine part of you to get shit done. This is the action piece, not just talking about it. Because then we just live a life of settling. You're the creator. Start didn't like it. So this creates faith through action, not passive waiting. Write that down. This creates faith through action, not passive waiting. So you're being the creator with your action part. So let's just use this now. Let's just use this as a beautiful example. So this is me meeting God halfway. During a meditation, I got the intuitive download to do 3 days, not 1 day. I thought it was 1 day. No, 3 days. Online, streaming on different platforms. This will be used for a YouTube video, it'll be used for my podcast, it'll be used in my membership, it'll be used for my email list, it's used for the girls inside of my private Facebook group. So I'm creating this action piece from showing up on all these different platforms to be seen, for people to come across me. And I'm creating different avenues. Okay, that's my action piece. I'm showing up, I'm doing it, I'm putting the content out there. Right, God, you go and show the people who need me. I'm not doing that. I'm not begging, I'm not chasing, I'm not seeing who's watched it and have they signed up to fuck that. That's your job. That's how I live my life. I haven't got this tight grip. Who's watching it? Who's showing up? Like, I have never checked to see so if you've got an email list, you'll understand. If you haven't, you'll think that I'm talking a foreign language here. But when you have an email list, right, you have funnels. And on your email list, you can check to see percentages of who's clicked it, who's followed it, who's read it, because it'll tell you the time if they've read it and the amount of time that it should take on the word count. Who's unsubscribed, I never check them numbers. I couldn't give a fuck. That's God's job. And I trust that once I put this out there, once I show up in my truth, in my authenticity, heart-led, then God will do the rest. So then I'll get people messaging me. Yous have probably messaged me, the people in my membership, like people just randomly come across me. Oh, I just seen your video, you just popped up. I had somebody sign up to me on a one-to-one who watched a YouTube video. She wasn't even following me on Instagram. She's not in my membership. She's not in anything. She just said she went down a rabbit hole with me YouTube, found me Instagram, found the email address that's on the one-to-one coaching link, and signed up. Was that me or was that God? That was God. Because I didn't choose who that content went out there to. I just done the content. The same with this now. This is getting posted to all these different platforms. It'll get emailed out, the people who've signed up, blah, blah, blah. I don't have control over that and I don't need to. I just get to live my life. I just get to come off here now and I'll just chill. I'll read my book, I'll do a meditation, I'll go to sleep. And then I'll get excited to go back in tomorrow and do another session with you. Can you just feel it? I want you to feel it. I don't want to be talking strategy and this and that. It's a feeling. Your business has to give you a feeling, and the feeling has to be alignment. It has to be truth. It has to be heart-led. It has to be you. And God will do the rest. So that's your homework for these next 7 days. How can you, to show up with the action pieces, go all in and then detach? And I'm going to be teaching you this. So tomorrow oh shit, I've got a journal session for you as well. Sorry, you ain't going nowhere, honey. Let me tell you this journal entry. But tomorrow's session, we'll go into the feminine and the masculine energy and the importance of bringing the balance in and how that will change your relationship with money tenfold. Like, the best decision I ever made was doing the work around the feminine and the masculine, and I studied it so bad and I got obsessed with it and I loved it and it's changed my life. And then the session after that, which will be Wednesday's session, we will go into, I want to go into faith, because a lot of faith came up for me tonight, so I need to write that down. I'll be teaching you about the work that I've done around faith, and I want to be going into universal laws, the laws that so like not necessarily like the law of attraction, but I love the law of assumption and the law of detachment in every aspect of your life, not just your business. So I'll be going into that on Wednesday's session. So your journal session, so when you're journaling this week, I want you to write this down. If I believed that I was supported, how would I act today? And I really want you to feel into how different would your life be? How different would you show up? How different would you be in this world if you believed that you was supported, if you believed that you was protected? If you believed that you could just be you, how differently would you act? And just see what comes up. Don't overthink it. Don't start spiraling and going off on one. Just get your journal out and see what comes up. And if nothing comes up, that's fine. You don't need to force it. Maybe something will come up tomorrow. Maybe something will come up the next day. But it's just about asking the questions. So, also, I have my live event on the 28th, which, just to explain something, girls, this isn't like my other events. So it's not a healing event. When you're not going to be crying about inner child work or your mum done this and what did your dad do to you as a child. None of that. It's going to be really uplifting, really motivational. Also, a lot of my girls in the membership are coming. Anybody who's in the membership now who I haven't spoken to about it, message me. So there's still a few tickets left, but right now I've got an offer on from now until then. If you sign up to my membership and come and join us inside of the membership, you get a free ticket to the event. So the event is £88. The membership is £33. So if you sign up from now, tonight, it's literally going to be live on my website after this. Well, I set it to be live at 8 o'clock, so it's live now. You will sign up to the membership for £33 and you will get gifted an £88 ticket to come to my live event. It's called Manifest It and it's on the 28th. So if you want the link to my membership, message me on Instagram or Facebook, or if you've got any questions about it. But yeah, if you're inside of my membership, and I've not spoke to you about having a free ticket, please reach out to me. I know so many of you live so far away and the time of it, so it's 5 o'clock until 9 o'clock, so it's a bit of a late one. But if you can be there, just give me a little message and I'll explain everything. But my girlies, I'm going to love yous and leave yous because this was an hour session and it's turned into 90 minutes, but this is what I'm like. And I will see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock where we'll go into day 2. And there'll be an opportunity as well to ask any questions as well. So yeah, I will see you all tomorrow, my loves. Good night, God bless.